22-0. With a sports flash on 1420 NBC Sports Radio Tri-Cities, I'm Matt Pauley.
Well, I'm Marky Billson. That call was actually, and I apologize for the awkwardness of it, but it was actually Michael Ballard, who is the owner of the Johnson City Otters, as well as someone who is he's got an idea on redeveloping the Buffalo Valley Golf Course. And I'd called him up, and he returned the call, and it's the phone line here, unfortunately. Anyway, Michael Ballard is someone who, like I said, we want to book on the show. And so I talked to him, and he was like, I just stepped out of a meeting. I can't commit to a time right now, but I'll be calling him back later on today. We'll try to get a discussion. We've got another phone call here. Tri-City Sports Now. Well, it's not there. Our phone number, by the way, is 423-743-6124. It's 423-743-6124. I am not adverse to taking calls. However, I am not, in the process of really wanting to have them hijack the show. That sort of thing. So this is about, modern sports talk radio is about the host, the interview subjects, the making of news. It's not so much about giving Lemmy from the Bronx a forum. But if you're a little bit better than that, 423-743-6124, and anything that is on your mind in the world of sports is okel-tokel with me. Hey, like how I said that one. Okay. We began, I wanted to give you a media watch, and we began by talking, about the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. There's certain things that they've done to evolve. Ashley Graham, I guess, Chrissy Thean becoming a model so that you have a different shape of woman on the cover. That was one thing that when I was looking through, yes, I was, but I was actually I was very intrigued by, and I don't know if you follow the 1420 NBC Sports Radio Tri-Cities, and boy, if you've got a real long memory, there's a gentleman by the name of John Siciliano who he's an actor, and he's an old friend of mine. He's an old teammate of mine, actually. And he appears on a TV show. It's on CBS. It's called Bull. Okay, John Siciliano, and I got to apologize here because his role, he plays, I believe, a former, John lost his leg in a car accident. And it didn't deter him. He went on to become a Paralympian. What do you think about that? And now an actor who is making guest spots on Bull. He's been on 60 Minutes and all that. So I remember that. Now, I want you to, if you're watching on 1420 NBC Sports Radio Tri-Cities, and if you're not, just remember this name, Brenna Huckabee. I'm holding this picture up right now. This is a beautiful woman who evidently has somehow lost her leg one way or the other. This is a beautiful woman in a bikini. And that is a nice, tasteful shot right there. Showing the prosthesis. Prostheses are not generally, they're not attractive items and all that. The woman still is very much so. It's just like John. Actually, remember, I got to see about getting John back on. I talked to him on our first incarnation of this show. I actually had him on as a guest. Being a Paralympic athlete, and it's getting to be that time now, football season, around here, with the start of NASCAR season, Daytona 500 this week, and certainly basketball, college basketball, about ready to go in full swing. Plus now February is not the slow month. That's actually why the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue started up, because when it started in 1964, think about this, there was no Super Bowl. The NFL champ was decided, I think it may have been decided in late December. Football was over with the bowl games. If they played it in the first week of January, forgive me. I wasn't around in 1964, but, that's just something that I haven't quite researched, but I think it was the end of, if memory serves, the end of December. And then you had the bowl games on January 1. That was football. It's over now. What do you do? And February was thought to be this dead month everybody couldn't wait for the pitchers and catchers to report in 2 weeks. Basketball, the NBA had 9 franchises. Hockey, it had 6. Stock car racing, Daytona 500 starts up in 59. It's highly regional. It's not even televised until 1979. So really, February as a sports month is just blown up now. What with the Daytona 500 and the Super Bowl. But in 1964, how do we get men to buy a sports magazine in 1964? How's that done? What do we got to do? Well, here's another shot of Danielle Harrington. She's the next. She were trying to promote her because you see, well, she doesn't really need our promotion, but the next big thing. Yeah, like I said, she's going to be in quite a lot of male fantasies coming up. I do remember what it was like actually with the swimsuit issue. If you were, we don't have really there were magazine racks at the store and all that. Don't get me wrong. But the idea of, remember library period in school? Remember that? And I'm betting that the modern day school library doesn't have, the subscriptions to the magazines that you used to. But we would always, you always wanted to be the first guy in the library period so you could read Sports Illustrated. That was the thing. And then you'd have the prudish librarian who, when that swimsuit issue came out, they were banning it. You couldn't, that was always, modern thinking in schools and all that. Because this is, as we said, just such, so racy and such. Come on, really. Give me a break here. Tri-City Sports Now, coming to you here. The other some media story, though, that I wanted to say, Mike and the Mad Dog is coming back. Well, kind of. Of course, when Mike Francesa left WFAN, a guy that had been pretty much regarded, even though he was local, and this shows you the difference between the influence of local sports talk and national sports talk. And I've always believed that local sports talk is more influential due to the fact that, when I am talking about ETSU, when I have told you, hey, this ETSU team could be something special, that creates a buzz. Colin Cowherd talks about the Super Bowl. He's got a big audience and all that. He may break a story, but does it create a buzz, what he's saying? It tries to, don't get me wrong. He's got a wide audience. But you can overcome national criticism if you are if you're a local team. I picked the New England Patriots to win the Super Bowl. I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles should be on the field. You could say that as a national sportscaster. How would that have worked out for you? A local sportscaster trying to in Philadelphia, giving criticism of the Eagles, that's going to hit. The same thing here in the Tri-Cities. It's one of the things that I'm critical of the local media. I think that they are less than critical, usually, of most things. But anyway, so that's why Mike Francesa was always thought of as the top sports talk show host in the country, even though he had a primarily local audience. You have the Cowards and the Patricks coming up next. Anyway, but Mad Dog Russo and Mike Francesa are going to get together on Russo's High Heat show on the MLB Network. Sources tell the New York Sports. It'll be just a one-on-one get-together. It'll be in a little over a month. The plan is for Francesa to spend the whole show with Russo. You know what? This needed to be done. No, it really did. Mike and the Mad Dog are iconic. Even here in Johnson City, you know what we're saying. You know what we're talking about. In fact, I'm of an era when I can remember when Pete Franklin talked to more sports fans than anyone in the country. Mike and the Mad Dog replaced him as the greatest sports talk show host of all time. When we come back, Vols have a new coach. I'll tell you who it is. Tri-City Sports Now.
Your GMC, it means trust.